Today is September 28th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaimsOnline.com. Brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey and Rammer. The Cardinals wrap up their road schedule for the season before returning home for this weekend at Busch Stadium. 3:10 start time, so a little under an hour before first pitch at American Family Field. And I guess as we joked yesterday, just one less game. We're counting down till the end of this 2023 season.
Yeah, playing out the string. Goldschmidt's out again today. I know you'll have the lineups in just a second. It's a lineup that's, not really very competitive. Not that an individual player isn't giving their best, but you've got several minor leaguers and some guys that under normal circumstances wouldn't even be sniffing the big leagues. But, that's just what it is. And so we'll play out the string.
Yeah, the lineups for the game today, it's Dakota Hudson against Corbin Burns, brought to you by our friends at Bootleg and Tavern and Central State Sandwiches on the menu this weekend. Out at Central State Sandwiches, they have the breakfast bagel sandwich. So go and check out Central State Sandwiches on all of their social medias to find out where they will be this weekend. And tonight, it's Thursday, which means they will be out at Bootleg and Bob's in Tower Grove South. So head on out there, see Kyle, congratulate him. Just got married over the weekend. And
wow.
Let's go try that breakfast bagel sandwich. I told him next time that we're out there, not only am I going to create a sandwich to put on the menu, I also want to make sure that the meatball is on the schedule, is on the menu too. I need to go and try the meatball sandwich that Kyle puts together out there at Central State Sandwiches. The Cardinals will go with Lars Nootbaar leading off and playing center field. Tommy Edman at second, Jordan Walker in right, Luken Baker at first, Richie Palacios in left, Juan Yepes DHing, Andrew Kisner behind the plate, Janelle Kiersakudo is at third, and Mason Wynn is at short. Corbin Burns pitches for the Brewers today, going for their 90th win of the season. They have Christian Yelich in left, Willem Contreras behind the plate, Carlos Santana at first, Mark Canha in right, Willie Adames at short, Rowdy Tellez DHs, Josh Donaldson at third, Bryce Terang is at second, and Garrett Mitchell is in center field as the Brewers look to improve on their record for the 2023 season. I know you mentioned it, Rammer, a lot of guys that wouldn't sniff the big leagues right now, but we are getting, it's a lot of auditions for the 2024 season. Dakota Hudson is in that mix, and Richie Palacios, I think, has put himself in that discussion as well.
Yeah.
As far as a guy who's playing right now for a 2024 roster spot.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And we're getting the looks that we wanted to see. Obviously, Walker here all year, and Wynn playing a lot. And I think everybody can see that he is absolutely the shortstop of the future. And so, a number of good things. And what's the future hold for Luken Baker? I don't know. I don't know that we've learned that much about him, good or bad. So there's some guys that are making an impact, and other guys that probably still have work to do to get a look in the big leagues.
The Brewers right now, we've talked about this. They've wrapped up a spot in the playoffs. They have nothing really to play for at all this weekend. They're not catching the Dodgers. They're not catching the Braves. They will play whoever finishes third in the wild card race, which right now is a very tight race. It's a tie between the Marlins and the Cubs, with the Reds a game and a half back. So they're just going to sit there and wait to find out who their opponent is. But I tell you this, I look at that lineup, and this is also the reason why I lost money on betting the under on the Brewers win total for this season. I look at the team, I look at the lineup, and there's just nothing there that screams 90 wins to me. It just amazes me that they were this successful this season, and maybe I owe a lot of that credit to Craig Counsell, their manager.
Well, I don't want to discredit him. He doesn't have a contract. You brought it up a few shows ago, but I think what it shows you, what the Cardinals didn't take care of was how important great pitching is.
Yeah.
You can pitch, you're always in it. And and so I think that's what we learned about them. And that's why I also think that getting just one more big league hitter, a professional hitter like Mark Canha, kind of pushed them over the top a little bit. Sorry about that. Truck going by. But yeah,
As long as there's no sirens, we're all good, Rammer.
adding one guy like Canha went from a pretty mediocre lineup to one that is competitive. They're not a great lineup, but they're competitive. And when you got good pitching, sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, I get that, and Corbin Burns is they don't grow on trees. So when you do have a lights out arm like that, but this year having a little bit of a down year, he's going to reach 200 strikeouts today on the season. He's at 196 right now, but his record and his ERA on the year, neither one of those really scream ace at you compared to what he has done in prior years. So that's a guy that they are going to lean heavy. I would guess this is Corbin Burns' last start until next weekend. He's going to get a good 7-8 days off, and he's going to be your game one starter for the Brewers in that first wild card game next week.
Yeah, so it won't be a full week off. What would that be? Tuesday, I think.
I thought it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is it? Are they doing it midweek this week? Is they change? Okay.
The wild card games start Tuesday.
Okay, then that's last year. It was a weekend, if you remember.
I don't remember.
I believe it. Yeah, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday last year. I thought is how they did it last year, and that made for a really fun weekend of baseball because everybody, all four series were playing 3 games. Kind of goes to show you how little I've paid attention to the playoff schedule this year, knowing the Cardinals weren't going to make it.
So I think that what might affect him, maybe he only goes 5 innings, regardless of what's happening in the game.
Tuesday, October 3rd. That's when your wild card game is. So it goes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the wild card game. All 3 games are at the same venue, at the higher seeded venue for these. So no going back and forth in the first round of the playoffs. So yeah, Rammer, you're correct with that. So yeah, he starts today on Thursday, then he pitches again on Tuesday for game 1 for the Brewers. I would imagine on that.
I think that's their guy, and if pitching wins out, they'll have an excellent chance to advance. I think the Braves and Dodgers are prohibitive favorites, and then who can be the wild card surprise, out of the first round to make a run. That'll be real interesting. I don't know. Some folks are sort of searching for stories and are concerned about the Braves pitching. We'll see how it stacks up once next week rolls around. I think the Braves their lineup is so good. I think they're going to be fine.
Right now, looking at the National League wild card, 1 game in action right now that does have a lot of bearings on that. The White Sox are leading the Diamondbacks 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Diamondbacks come into this game with the second wild card spot, up 2 games on the Marlins and the Cubs. So a win today would virtually give them a spot in the playoffs, or would make it real easy for them to get a spot in the playoffs. So they win today. A loss will make things very interesting. Marlins and Cubs tied right now. And remember, there's no tiebreaker game anymore. They've gotten rid of a game 163 in baseball. They have a series of tiebreakers. The Marlins hold the tiebreaker over the Cubs. So if the Marlins and Cubs end the season with the same record, Marlins get that 3rd wild card spot over the Cubs.
I think the Cubs are in big trouble, and it'll go down in the legend of Chicago curses and bad plays if they don't make postseason. That drop fly ball the other night could be the final nail in the coffin. However, the Marlins are without Arias. I don't know if he's back in the lineup today.
And Alcantara.
Well, he's been out a while. I think
Right. I'm just saying their 2 best players right now are no longer in the mix right now. And watching how Arias was walking the other day, I don't think I don't know when he'll be back.
And that could hurt them. So it's really those last that last spot might just be a matter of survival.
Yeah, I do need to check and see what the Cubs over-under was on the season, because I know I bet the over on the win total, and I don't know if they're making it interesting for me or not at the moment. But I knew they were better than a 500 team this year, so I think that's why I went with them. I didn't think they were good enough to make the wild card, but here we sit right now with that.
And they
American,
they got Stroman going today, who hasn't pitched as many as 5 innings since the 15th of July.
Yeah.
They're on fumes. Will they have enough to get to the finish line? It's going to be fun to watch.
Mariners lose to the Astros last night, so they drop a game and a half back. Their Blue Jays just a half game up on the Astros for that second wild card spot. So 2 games separate the Mariners and the Blue Jays for spots 2, 3, and eliminated in the American League wild card. So hopefully making it fun all the way down the stretch, all the way to Sunday afternoon for baseball this weekend. Rammer, we will be with you throughout the postseason, talking about all the series as they go along, and that'll continue to be brought to you by our friends at Bootleggin', also Munganast St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Give my friends at Royal a call, 314-212-1500. Royal Banks of Missouri.
He is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you tomorrow right here on Daily Cards Live.
Munganast St. Louis Acura has a great selection of new and certified pre-owned Acuras. Get 3.9% financing for up to 36 months on all new Acura models, or get $1,000 in loyalty incentives on the 2023 TLX and RDX, and $750 in loyalty incentives on the 2024 Integra. Get financing as low as 1.99% for up to 36 months on certified pre-owned TLX and MDX models. Munganast St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.